John, we meet again. You know, it's getting to be a habit, and it's fun. But
Yeah.
I do my workouts Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Not that everyone needs all this information, but I couldn't wait to get traveling down to the gym and call you. I know you're a nervous riser like me because I checked the price of silver and gold. That's barely what I had time to do, and I already had seen a couple things in the blogosphere on our topic, Tether, and then Russia, which you didn't know until you told me. And I said, look, if we're really going to be reporting on this and it's changing this fast, we've got to do another video. So here we are. Why don't you start off with, one or two of your top items that you sent to the Telegram channel? And I think one of the top ones that the Russian central bank said, crypto no more, basically, right?
Yeah, that is a big story here. And let me pull this up here. Actually, did not. Uh, oops. Hang on one second
I
here.
might be able to help you a little bit here. So I'm on the Twitter account, my account. So this will show my tweets. And this one here is one that I put up recently. So this is from Business Standard. Creditors sued Chivers Evergrande Group for
That was
13 billion in claims.
I,
And then see, it should just be my tweets. I don't think that's the way this is working. Maybe it is. I do have a couple people. This one I put up. This is just John has been talking about the cyber attack thing. This is all of the companies that are basically down right now, and that is about the time I posted it. It may have changed somewhat. Here's the one I wanted to get to. So I'm showing it on the screen, John. Russian central banks to seek a ban on investment in cryptocurrency, sources say. This is from Reuters. The Russian central bank would like to ban investment in cryptocurrencies in Russia, seeing risk to financial stability in the rising number of crypto transactions, two financial market sources close to the central bank said. So I'll turn it back to you and hear what you have to say about that.
yeah. This is huge. This is huge because my expectations on the shutdown leading to the regulators making a move, and eventually what I see is an international move against Bitcoin, I believe, and Tether. It's going to be those specific ones. Now, let me, before I go on, I'm not anti crypto. I am pro crypto and pro blockchain. So let's get that out of the way. But this move here, this is a big move because it's going to trigger other governments to follow this pathway. And Russia, I'm sure, is looking at the situation in Myanmar where Tether is now being declared used as a cryptocurrency, as an official currency for a shadow government. Every government around the world, I actually went around and did some homework here. They're all watching this. If you have an unstable populace and someone comes in and says, "Hey, we're going to make ourselves the official currency in your market here," this is a major event worldwide here. And I was not surprised to see that the Russian central bank said they were going to ban crypto with 24 hours after Myanmar, the shadow government in Myanmar, declared Tether as their official currency. This is
Let me
this.
stop you there, John. That's just too important not to repeat. Make sure everybody heard it. So you basically had forecasted after this Myanmar thing, which we did in our last video, where they're using it basically as they're using Bitcoin as a coin of the junta, for lack of a better word. And of course, as you said, one man's freedom fighter is another man's rebel. We get that. But regardless of what side you're on, it looks like nefarious purposes for most viewers' perspectives. And you said that within 24 hours, you thought that would impact what? Would you say that again, please?
Yeah, in fact, in number 10 interview, which came out today, is that 10 or 11? I'm losing track here. We get so many of
10, I
them.
think. Yeah.
In number 10, if you watch today's interview, you'll see that I mentioned that other governments would be watching this and things would be taking off between December 11th and December 21st. here we are moving closer and closer to December 21st, and these things are happening here. In that interview with David, I spoke about governments watching this event unfold. And now, granted, the shadow government said, we're going to use Tether. A lot of the media said Myanmar adopted Tether, which is not true. It is a shadow government run by a woman who was tossed out by their military for voter fraud, and she just happens to have very close ties with HRC and B. Obama. This is a big event. It's much more into. I won't get into the details here. I know where this is going. I know this is how it's going to end. Also, I'm sure the Russian central bank presidents are in touch with their intelligence agencies. Never underestimate the intelligence reach of Russia. Uh, they're one of the best. And for them to wake up, for me to wake up this morning and see that the Russian central bank basically rejected crypto transactions. Now that's behind closed doors. There's some important little key points of this press release I want to read that you just touched on, David. According to Reuters, the central bank is now discussing a possible ban with market players and experts. If approved, the measure could apply to new purchases of crypto assets, but not existing portfolios. I thought that was interesting. So people that are currently trading, they're going to be okay. The current position of the Central Bank of Russia is reportedly a, quote, complete rejection of all cryptocurrencies. This is a signal. This is the way Russian communications go out. They're stepping it out here one by one. They're not going to say we're banning it because it's just too harsh. You've got the old cryptos that'll be able to remain, but it seems to me they're giving the signal complete rejection is what's going on behind the scenes, which makes sense because there's an opposition also in Russia. Every country has an opposition. The last thing any country wants to deal with is a shadow government saying, okay, now Russia is now on Tether. I mean, that just, or that's for that matter, dear Jerome Powell, we are using Tether, we're the official currency, and then have the media jump in and say, Tether's been accepted as a new U.S. currency. By the way, it's not been audited, and we don't know what it's backed with. We think it's Evergrande. You know the story there. Let me go on a bit more here. According to the central bank, the annual volume of cryptocurrency transactions carried out by Russian citizens amounts to 5 billion. In a review of financial stability released last month, the regulator said Russians were among the world's most active participants in the cryptocurrency market. Absolutely. We only have to look at Ethereum for that. Ethereum to me is probably the Ethereum is probably working with the Russian central bank. I wouldn't be surprised using Ethereum as a beta coin to get the populace used to working in crypto, leading up to what I believe is going to be a gold-backed, oil-backed ruble backed by the central bank of Russia. That's a big statement there. Remember that. In October, Russia's Deputy Finance Minister Alexei Mosiv said there were no plans to ban the purchase of cryptocurrencies abroad or the use of overseas crypto-based wallets here. Anyhow, this is coming out right now, and the last sentence, I didn't even see this. The central bank is also planning to issue its own digital coin. Now you see where they're going here. The populace is on cryptocurrencies. They have their own currency coming. New coins are a no-go. Old coins are okay, and they have their own coin going here. I believe that everyone in the crypto space, in every country, is most likely going to be transferred, pushed, seized, grabbed, or, I don't know, blacked out, and then put back on into the local digital currency. It appears to me there's a big move coming in all the central banks worldwide to announce their digital coins. But this is important because for two reasons. Number one, they have their own digital coin coming. They mentioned it. But to come after the Myanmar shadow banking situation, I don't think any government in the world is going to stand behind a shadow government using cryptocurrency as a weapon to topple an existing military government that threw out that shadow government over voter fraud. So that was this morning here. So that's a shot across the bow. Who's next? I will not be surprised if the Indian central bank or China is pretty much still on the bandwagon, but I think there's going to be more countries following Russia here because they're a big player. No matter what anyone thinks about Russia, they are a big player here, especially in the crypto space here. So that is a big story. I thought the timing of this coming after the Myanmar announcement made it even bigger here. A quick update on Tether, the class action lawsuit. This is really interesting. We touched on this in the last interview. It's follow up here about the verbiage here. This verbiage is exactly what I spoke about from the very beginning regarding Tether in Evergrande and Tether being used to manipulate and inflate Bitcoin, which we know has been done. Tether Holdings, the issuer of USDT stablecoin, has been hit with a class action lawsuit from a group of disgruntled investors. In a document filed last week, the plaintiffs accused the firm of falsely representing its stablecoin's backing. Wow, they falsely represented it. This gets good here. It's very short. The lawsuit alleges that Tether falsely claimed that USDT was 100% US dollars. Now, if you watched the video by CoffeeZilla and the work he did on there, he was able to go back and he had the original backing documentation on the website and the new changed backing. In the original backing on the website, they mentioned that they had dollar for dollar 100% backing of the US dollar for their Tether. In the updated version, it is not listed the same way. They talk about backing for it, but it's not just dollar for dollar anymore. The filing states that Tether, quote, misled consumers regarding the attributes of Tether tokens and refers to Tether tokens sales as a breach of contract. Plaintiffs and class members would not have purchased or would have paid significantly less for Tether tokens had they known these representations were false, an excerpt reads. Okay, this story here, once again, the date of this article, this is December 15th, yesterday, when Tether was announced as a shadow currency for a shadow government against a legitimate military government. The day before Russia says no more new currencies, there's a vortex coming here. And I believe this is going to end up wrapping up between the 20th and the 21st near the winter solstice with regulations, which we don't know where it's going to go. I don't know. Okay, another article here. This you sent me, David. Senate, dated December 15th from Wall Street on Parade. I love that website. Pam Martins and Russ Martins. They do absolutely wonderful work. Senate Banking Committee is a headline. Chair says stablecoins may be outright fraudulent. Wow, let's say that again. Senate Banking Committee says, Chair says stablecoins may be outright fraudulent. That's a big, big statement when a banking committee chair says that your project could be outright fraudulent. Didn't say. The Senate Banking Committee held a hearing yesterday titled Stablecoins, How Do They Work? How Are They Used? And of course, the most important part, what are the risks? Well, we know what the risks are. In this case here, a coin announced one thing and then later on it moved the goalpost. And that goalpost, nobody knows where that goalpost is. Is it 30% Evergrande paper backing Tether? And Evergrande going bankrupt? Cannot pay their bills, they're going down. What does that do to Tether here? What does that do to Tether? And I have a list that I'm going to go through here that's going to list. I'll keep this short here on Senator Sherrod Brown, the chair of the committee. Quote, last month I wrote to some of the biggest stablecoin issuers to get more information on how they manage their funds that back their coins and to ask what rights their users have. Their responses were not particularly enlightening and should lead us to assume most ordinary customers don't have much in the way of rights at all. Wow, that's a good one. Everyone tells you, buy Bitcoin, buy crypto. This is the future. Yeah, customers don't have no rights much at all. That's not a good statement to hear. When, the argument with crypto and Bitcoin is get away from the Fed. You can't trust the Fed, money laundering, printing money, diluting the dollar. You have some rights here. You can actually use the coin. And if it collapses, let's see, that's a different ballgame. Tether collapsing is different from a US dollar collapse. But to not have any rights at all. That's, and as again, this is the Senate banking chair. Now, of course, I know what everyone's saying. Oh, but he's a boomer. He doesn't understand crypto. He doesn't understand this. Look, at the end of the day, if if the government just let unregulated crypto rule its run, people would just steal. I mean, it's billions and billions of dollars of unregulated crypto are stolen every year. Exchanges just 100 million to just vanishing. No store rate, no regulation, no recourse. This happens all the time. Never published in the news. It's just, I guess it's off limits to tell the truth about what problems are actually occurring. And let's just be real. I mean, we know there's problems in the U.S. system also. But if you're going to be talking about replacing the U.S. dollar because the dollar is collapsing, it's being diluted, then you got to have something that's stable to where people can put their money in and have faith and trust that they're not going to get ripped off. One more quote here. So let's be clear about one thing. If you put your money in stable coins, there's no guarantee you're going to get it back. Well, to that I say buy silver and buy gold and just bury it and forget it, because you're always going to have that and you don't have to worry about losing it. So there's no guarantee you're going to get it back. Well, I guarantee if you're holding physical silver, you're always going to have control of it. You're not going to lose it. No one's going to run off with it and hack it and take off. They call it a currency, implying it's the same as having dollars in the bank. And you can withdraw that money at any time. But many of these companies hide their terms and conditions in the fine print, allowing them to trap customers' money. And if there's no guarantee you'll get your money back, that's not a currency. That with a fixed value, it's gambling. And with this much money tied up, it sure looks to me like a potential asset bubble. They're already telling you what this is. This is a bubble. It's going to blow up. Okay, I'm going to skip to this one. That was a great article. Dave, you got me here just in the last couple hours, and that just tied in. Now, what's going to blow this bubble up? Let's go back to the real story, the big story. What is that? Evergrande officially downgraded in debt, and now the CCP is coming in to handle Evergrande. And how are they going to handle that? Are they going to let them go off the cliff? I doubt it. I bet Evergrande is going to have CCP guys coming in, and they're going to find somebody there who's got a title and put their head on a platter and say, we're here to fix things. This is the bad guy. We are the good guys here. And they're going to have to do some accounting, and they're going to have to reveal what debts are out there, where's all the paper, and that paper I'm waiting for to see when it connects with Tether, which I expect it to be somewhere around the 30% range backing Tether. This is the same story. This is why Tether and these stable coins are not submitting documents as to what's backing their coins. They're trapped. Tether is trapped. Evergrande, they're just done. Evergrande is just a collapsing operation right now. If Tether gets exposed to having Evergrande paper, what happens to your overthrow of a government being backed by paper? This can turn into this. In fact, I'll just say it right now. This is not going to work out well in Myanmar. The person is running in that group, running the shadow government. I don't know how they're going to survive working with a currency that we find out has little to no banking, or maybe 30% less than they have, even if it's 50%. How are they going to tell the subjects who took Tether as their new currency that their currency just lost 20, 30, 40, 50%? Big problem. Big problem here. I really see that not working out so well. If that falls apart, which I believe it will, then we're going to see the military make a decisive move as to how they're going to end a move that comes against their sovereign currency. Okay, let's move on with that here. All this good stuff here. Okay, this is from Tether, Cointelegraph. I like Cointelegraph. Cointelegraph is the only publication that has an interview with Jeffrey Epstein, who loves Bitcoin and says Bitcoin is better than gold. So if you're interested in something really good, Cointelegraph, just type in Epstein billionaire Bitcoin in the search engine there, and you'll find an interview that you will not find anywhere else. This came out, let's see, this is from Cointelegraph. Tether lauds Myanmar shadow government for making USDT an official currency. So here's Tether. You know, they, this is great. You're using our currency as an official currency for your government. It's like, we're a shadow government, so we're not exactly Myanmar yet. That's one side. Well, on the other side of the pond, in the United States, we have a Senate banking chair saying they have nothing backing them. We're not enlightened. Where would you want to be? I would not want to be the shadow government raising my fist in the air saying I'm using Tether while the banking committee in the United States government is saying this looks like a scam. This is really going to end up ugly here, and it's going to be the end. This comes up here. You're using, I don't know what the laws are there, but I would assume that if you decided to try to foist a shadow currency or a cryptocurrency over a sovereign government's existing currency, you're going to have big problems here. This story, when it ends, is what's going to push forward the move for central bank digital coins to protect the system here. Anyhow, Tether lauds Myanmar. Hey, we like a shadow government using our USD as an official currency. I'm like,
Yeah. Not something I'd brag about. No.
so, I mean, do I need to take a breath here? You want to take any questions,
I got
Dave?
one more for us,
Okay.
and I think we can go ahead and close out. But so much is happening. We are definitely trying to stay on top of it. So I'm going to share my screen again and share. And this is one I think I got off of your Telegram, maybe not. I do a lot of my own research, John, as you know. But this
Yes.
is from the 70th Military Intelligence Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, the CISA,
Oof.
warned critical infrastructure organization today to strengthen their cybersecurity defenses against potential and ongoing threats. And this is one of your themes, which I actually put in the Morgan report, and not just because of you as a source, which I consider to be valid, but a couple more that have this window of, I think it was the 11th of December to the 21st of December, where we could see some issues with a cyber attack or cybersecurity or, lights out or what have you. And as I showed on my Twitter when we started our dialogue, a lot of major companies that are on the internet are having troubles as we speak. In fact, somebody wrote me and said they were having trouble watching our video
Yeah.
on YouTube because it was getting, it was having issues. And YouTube was one that popped up on that. Was it down.com or something? There's
Yeah.
a
Down detector.
down detector. Yeah. So back to you. What do you think
Well,
about this?
this is big. This is huge. Now, I have not mentioned this. I just purposely I didn't mention this uh, this group in the U.S. military, the 780th Military Intelligence Brigade. It's Military Cyber Intelligence Brigade. I've been following them for a good 4 years, and when I say that there is this active military and sting operation going here, this is what I'm referring to. When I saw this pop out December 16th, today, this morning, early this morning, underlined critical infrastructure organizations today to warned to strengthen their cybersecurity defenses against potential and ongoing threats. Well, we talked about the 10 nations, the cyber threats, the cyber warfare, all the hacks going down, all the down indicators. Now, the 780th Military Intelligence Cyber Brigade is warning everyone, hey, tighten up your security. And I've been saying this for a long time, and now it really this came fast. And let me read this one quote here. In the lead up to the holidays and in light of persistent and ongoing cyber threats, CISA urges critical infrastructure owners and operators to take immediate steps to strengthen their computer network defenses against potential malicious cyber attacks. And yesterday there was another malware that went out called, I believe it's called Anubis, the god of hell, I think, the god of death or god of hell. Anyhow, that was an attack on the roll. There's a lot of attacks going on. And of course, we have an administration that is basically running on a policy called dementia. And we have a media that is running on a dementia policy either. They don't seem to report anything that has real significance to it.
We're about there, John. I'll hand it back to you if you got any final words. I mean, we can only do so much in a day, and this thing is happening so quickly, but I do want to get it on the record. And that Wall Street on Parade article where it basically uses the word fraudulent And when he poured it out on the Huta using being proud of using Tether. Well, we'll see how that works. And then, I just want to give everyone a heads up about this cyber warfare. It's been something I've been writing about in the Morgan Report on and off for months, years. I wouldn't say like 3 or 4 years, but I've mentioned it several times on videos from time to time and also in the reports. And this is something that most people don't know how insecure the secure systems are. And if you really are able to dial into the elites, you go to like the top IT types of some of these major Silicon Valley systems, they will admit that one of the biggest things they fear is security,
Yeah.
cybersecurity.
Yeah, this is going to be, in fact, this is going to be the narrative amongst governments. You're going to hear them say, like anything else, never let a crisis go to waste. Everyone's going to have a crisis of security for their economies and their currencies. And chances are they're going to use this little situation here in Myanmar to say, we don't want shadow governments challenging us with fake crypto backed by we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, what a perfect story. I mean, it's this Myanmar thing is actually a gift to governments that are seeking to totally control crypto and issue their own digital coin. This is a gift for them. They
Well, having said that, I have to put on the tinfoil hat for a minute and say, well, was it a false flag, perhaps?
uh, there's always that possibility, and we may find out. We may learn that later. We may never find out. And but hey, we can always put on our tinfoil hats and do a little research from that angle, and that's always fun. There's a lot. If you were to type in Myanmar leader and Hillary Clinton and Obama, you would just find some really interesting photographs there with the leader there, who's now running the shadow government. So, who's running Biden? Obama? Is he running the Obama administration as a shadow president? Remember when Trump was going to Asia? Remember, it was Obama shadowing him, following him around, and landing in these countries also, which was a big no-no in the world of politics. But I do want to end with this, David. Today, it was wonderful to see silver end the way it did. I missed a buy order today. Came down and I missed it by a couple pennies, and it popped right up, looking strong, just what I expected. We saw the NASDAQ pull back. Now here, I need to finish off a couple points here, which I believe are going to happen. I'll summarize this here, just bullet points here. The largest issuer of Chinese bonds is about to go bankrupt. That is Evergrande. We don't know how many of those bonds are in Tether, backing up Myanmar government. Also, there's different stories saying that up to 70 to 80% of the volume at Bitcoin is Tether or fraudulent or fake and non-economic. Now, that being said, let's take that number. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but here's what I see coming. Here's what I see coming. We're going to see a run on Bitcoin. We're going to see a run, and we're going to see about 200 to possibly 400,000 Bitcoin thrown out on the market. And I'll tell you why. A lot of people, a lot of fund investors, hedge funds, private equity came into Bitcoin, and they simply didn't do their due diligence. They didn't go back and see the DNA going back to MIT and Jeffrey Epstein and that circle of people beyond there. They didn't see the trades that were coming in. They saw profits and more profits and nothing but going up, up, up and away before Christmas. Well, Christmas ain't here yet, and the 21st is coming. If Tether is found out to have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 cents, it's going to be over. Tether's going to collapse. And when Tether collapses, we're already seeing it. When CoinMarketCap basically blew a fuse yesterday, the day before yesterday, I screenshotted. It said the global market cap of crypto is zero. I thought, oh my goodness. It was up there for 3 seconds. I happened to get it. I think, in my opinion, my tinfoil hat opinion, that was a dry run for what's coming here. Tether makes up a large volume of Bitcoin. And I bet that's going to come to a big surprise to a lot of people who should have known better and done their homework and research before jumping all in on this. There's probably a lot of uh, managers, bosses, and that are sitting back saying, "Man, I'm just listening to this guy here on YouTube, and man, I hope this guy's not right." Well, I assure you, I will be right. Let's go on a little bit more here. If Evergrande completely goes bankrupt, Tether's going to go to zero. I mean, what? Who's going to make a? You're going to sell your Tether? Chances are they have two exchanges. Those two exchanges, I believe it's Bitfinex and I think FTX. Both of them will just likely freeze up or just go away. Bitfinex holds 200 bitcoins, and there's two other. This now I'm going to come down to the real story here that's going to blow people away. If this happens and the exchanges have to throw out their Bitcoin to raise cash, that's going to bring down the price of Bitcoin. My target on Bitcoin is $4,200. That's
Whoa, whoa,
four.
whoa, 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 wait. We're at 49,000. You say it's going down 90% from here?
That's what I'm expecting.
Oh,
Yep. Had to get that on the record so people can. You can throw tomatoes at me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to be wrong. Okay, so what does that do to the two largest trusts? What does that do to GBTC, very large Bitcoin? What does that do to MicroStrategy? This really is going to put some serious pressure on MicroStrategy and the big Bitcoin trusts. I believe we're going to see, if it's already happening, you're going to see pure Bitcoin promoters vanish on YouTube. YouTube's going to go back because this story is not out yet. Nobody's talking about it, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to go back and watch the videos and see what's really driving all this. So we're going to see liquidations everywhere. You're going to see people in the street, and you're going to see people just going absolutely nuts. Now, what's going to happen as it goes down? In my opinion, the move on the NASDAQ with the tech stocks going down are directly related to Tether. And the pullback today on the NASDAQ has to do with Tether and has to do with Bitcoin and has to do with margin calls. I believe we're going a lot lower. And then we're going to see collateral damage that continues. This is going to go into a contagion situation here. NASDAQ's going to hurt. Tesla's going to hurt. And I have 10 more bullet points. I'll save them for the next video.
let's do that. You got my blood pressure higher than I expected by the end of this discussion, John. I think you've gone a step beyond what we've done up until this point. Look, I'm free market, which means free ideas and free speech, and you have said a mouthful. So I will be back with you probably very, very soon. We will continue to monitor this situation, and I just have to be kind of, black humor here. I mean, and what I mean by that is if things start to unravel as you have suggested, and they put down the internet, we won't be able to report on it.
Yeah, that's right. I won't be surprised if we could do a meeting. There's no internet. Oh, well, okay. Well, the price of silver today, the move that it made, everyone cried, bitched, and moaned about silver taking. Oh, John, silver's going nowhere. What did I say? Remember my interview? I said, oh, when you call me up, I know silver's going up within 2 weeks because you cry like a baby on the phone. And 2 weeks later, and here we are. We bottomed out here. I think we're going up here. We could pull back one more time here, but I think silver's about ready to make its move. Gold's ready to make a move. And because we know it's going to decouple, because gold and silver is going to look over at the NASDAQ, look at Tether and Bitcoin, and just hit the laugh button.
Very good. We'll leave it there.
Okay.
On a positive note, John, thank you for your time as always. I'll see you again on one format or another very soon. Take care.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.